Okay, so it wants us to find the formula given a graph. So it asks us to relate. Usually it just lets me scroll. Okay. It asks me to relate g of x to f of x. Okay? So I'm looking at f of x as my original function. This is f of x. And then I'm going to come up with an equation for g of x. Okay, so that's important to know kind of which way we're going. And this is a compression, so it might be helpful to think about that in your mind. Okay, so let's look at just a little table of values here. Very little. I think I'll just look at maybe 1 point. X, f of x. I'm going to pick a point that's fairly easy for me to see. Now this point right here, so 6, 4, it looks like it's scooting over here to the point. So now I'm thinking about the g function, right? X, g of x. It looks like that point over here is 2, 6. Oh, 2, 4, sorry. All right. So the output is staying the same, but the input changed, right? So it went from 6 to 2. So what happened? What were we multiplying 6 by? A third, right? So it's compressing by a third. Now, you could do that with other points. This might be a good point to look at. This point might be a good one to look at. And then the other point you know is 0, 0. I don't think that's going to be super helpful to you because it's going to stay 0, 0 for both functions. Okay, but I know it's a third. So let me check and see if that makes sense. So let's look at this point that's 5, 3. Okay, so if I cut that by a third, for the other function, it would be 5 thirds 3. And we're just seeing if it kind of looks like that. So where's 5 thirds? 1 1/3? About there. And it's 3. Yeah, that looks reasonable to me. Okay, and you could do the same thing with that other point. We're just checking it to see if it seems reasonable to us. Okay, so it looks like it's compressing by a third. Compressed. Oops. So when we go to write the function g of x, remember you have to use the reciprocal. So it's going to be f of 3x, because the reciprocal of 1/3 is 3. Okay, so remember when this number b is greater than 1, that means a compression. Okay, so it's kind of like not what you think it's going to be. All right, this is the answer. I'm hoping it makes more sense. You know, we don't do horizontal stretches and compressions until this point in algebra, so you may not have seen these before.